Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Dan and Danny Talk Sports. I'm Dan Studer. Alongside me, as always, is Danny Gulix. Danny, how you doing today?
I am not bad. I've definitely had worse days, definitely had better days, but haven't had better weeks in a while. Steelers win. That's what I'm getting at. Studer, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Danny, I've got a question for you.
Okay, I like questions.
What shape is the country of Italy in?
I feel like I just had a throwback to my Xbox 360 parties. I feel like I'm about to get kicked off the call. It's in the shape of a boot, Studer.
See, now I would try to kick you off of the Zoom call, but I'd probably miss wide left like Evan McPherson. So I'm
And
not even really going to try that.
you might have also hit me off the side of the call, just like Chris Boswell. That just like every NFL kicker this week. It was a rough week for kickers. You might have went
That's
short,
crazy.
just like what's his name, McManus.
Actually, as a Giants fan, well, no, because I gave you McPherson for your Steelers beating the Bengals, but as a Giants fan, it would have been more appropriate for me to have said wide left like Bullock. Um,
Um, I
Still
mean, you
haven't gotten over that.
could have double doinked me like Cody
Couple double
Parkey.
doinked it.
All right, let's get away from these kicking puns.
Yeah,
And let's kick off the show. Uh,
I like that. Very
uh,
nice.
uh, um, let's just you want to talk about something real quick. So go ahead.
Yes.
You talk about your
So
thing, and then we'll kick it off.
I want to do something. Haven't really done this before, but I want to do it because I finally got to watch, basically almost all of the game. Penn State versus Ohio, the home opener at Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania, Happy Valley. And Penn State took this one 46-10.
Valley's pretty happy.
Indeed, it is. So now I probably saw just the first half of the game, and in the first half of the game, only Sean Clifford, the starting quarterback, he would wind up finishing the game 19 for 27, 213 yards, averaging 7.9 with one passing touchdown and one rushing touchdown. And I got nervous when all of a sudden I saw Drew Aller in there. I apologize if I'm not saying his last name right, but he went 6 for 8 for 88 yards and two touchdowns. And then they even brought in the third stringer, Christian Veo. He went 6 for 7 for 33 yards. But it turns out that was James Franklin's plan all along, was to play all three of those quarterbacks, which I think is great. Especially, I wasn't super afraid of Ohio. I mean, I am definitely one of those people that say that you should never take any game, like never go into any game with an easy mindset. But the same day, it is, Ohio. Four-star running back Nick Singleton had himself a day, 10 carries, 179 yards for 17.9 average with two touchdowns, including one of those being a 70-yard rushing touchdown to give the Nittany Lions a 14-0 lead.
Jesus, that's big. That is big.
I mean, Penn State just really, they pretty much owned and dominated this game. Danny, Penn State had 13 drives. 6 of them resulted in touchdowns. One of them was a field goal, 3 of them punts, 2 turnover on downs, and 1 missed field goal. Now, those 2 turnover on downs doesn't really, mean much, because if you know Penn State football, you know that, and despite having there be a couple of different offensive coordinators over the last couple of seasons, Penn State's also, always pretty aggressive when it comes to fourth down. So who knows if they convert, maybe that ends in, 3 field goals rather than just 1.
Yeah.
But the defense looking pretty good under Manny Diaz, ex head coach from Miami. And yeah, your Penn State Nittany Lions are now ranked. They are now in the top 25 of the AP roll, sitting at number 22, as they will now be flying out to Auburn to take on the Auburn Tigers. I think they're the Tigers. I don't know. They're the Tigers, yet they say War Damn Eagle. Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
I'm hyped for the college season this year. I'm just gonna try to watch as much as I can. Never been an avid college watcher. I do more research than actually watch the games, which is kind of dumb. One of my bigger misses that I've been pretty vocal about is that Joe Burrow is not going to be that guy. He wasn't this week. Oh, got him. What a segue. So we're gonna start off the show talking about last week, and then we're gonna kick it off to next week, this upcoming week. As we're recording, it is currently Wednesday night. Got Thursday night football tomorrow, bro. I'm so happy that the NFL season is back. Like having 3 days in between my football instead of 3 months in between my football. It just makes me happy, man. Like there's no other way to say it.
It's also the first game of Thursday Night Football that's going to be on Amazon. And Danny, I don't know about you, but I cannot stress enough how excited I am for that broadcast crew. Do you know who it is off the top of your head?
Nah, I didn't even know that there was going to be an Amazon game.
Yeah, Thursday Night Football now is Amazon Prime.
Oh, that's actually sick.
Al Michaels, Kirk Herbstreit. Now I don't know if you know much about Kirk Herbstreit because he's a college guy. Saturday morning college game day on ESPN, and then
I've watched him. I know who it is.
I love Kirk Herbstreit. I'm pretty sure he was a quarterback for Ohio State, but we all know he's a closet Penn State fan, so it's okay. But I mean, and I how do you not love Al Michaels? To quote or to do my best Chris Collinsworth, here's a guy who's just straight up one of the best broadcasters in the industry. Everybody, of course, knows him for his call in 1980, the Soviets and the United States, the winner of that game going to the gold medal game. But I'm very excited for the two of them, two of my favorite people in the industry working together. Very excited.
Yeah. I don't work tomorrow, so I will be ingesting every single second of football that I can. Gonna be going back, watching my highlights, getting myself ready for this week. I'm just gonna throw this out here. I'm gonna hope we get another episode out. If we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. Before this week. Even if it's on our socials, go look at it. I'm definitely, at least just me, gonna bring you some fantasy stuff, some starts, some sits, some favorable matchups, whatever. We'll see. But I'm excited for this week, man. But before we can go to the future, we gotta look to the past. And for one of us, the past is very, very unfortunate. For the other one, it's pretty looking good. Before we get into it, I just want to say it's unfortunate because we did say last week we were going to do a giveaway at the end of the season. Studer, do we want to include playoffs?
I think we should include playoffs.
Let's do it. I agree. All right. So after the Super Bowl, or if it's already decided before that, actually, no, we'll draw the winner after the Super Bowl. Gives us more time, gives y'all more time. Comment, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on TikTok. We're going to do something on one of those platforms where we will give away an NFL shirt jersey. Maybe change what it is, maybe do a gift card, whatever. We'll figure it out. No matter who the player is, no matter what the team is, no matter where you live, you're getting it. Just make sure all over the socials will be updating y'all. But whoever the loser is of the NFL Pick'em Weekly is going to have to give it away. Unfortunately, that loser is me right now. I'm currently sitting at a strong 6-10-1.
While I am sitting at a 10-5-1 record.
Shut up.
Really quickly, Danny, before we get into this, I want to do something a little differently. You had said with the giveaway, you're talking about, focusing on YouTube, kind of, you're talking about, leaving a like, leaving a comment. For all the listeners, here's what I would love to do, because I'd love some engagement. If you are watching this on YouTube, in the comments section, tell us how your team did. Tell us what one of your favorite moments was from week 1 of this NFL season, and then tell us what surprised you the most. And of course, if you're listening to us on an audio platform, you can always tweet at us at DNDTS Podcast, at DanStuder _, at DJ Gulix.
I know I mentioned this at the end of last episode, but I understand podcasts are an hour long. If you got questions that you want us to answer on the podcast, I don't know if Studer's personal DMs are open. My DMs are open. Our account's DMs are open.
Mine should be, yep.
Hit us up, tweet at us, tweet in our DMs. We'll answer your questions. 100%. We'll get at you. But let's get into these pick'ems, man. Start off Thursday night football. It was Bills Rams. I was pretty avid supporter of the Rams in this one, and Matt Stafford, man, that elbow injury is looking real. Bills walk away with the W very convincingly. Any big takeaways from this game besides Stafford's elbow and his ability to only target Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee?
Yeah, well, I mean, this was a great game for Josh Allen. I want to say off the top of my head, 16 for 21.
He had like 4 total touchdowns. Right?
I think like maybe 3. I think he might have had 2 passing and 1 rushing.
I know
And
he had one on the ground, and the one on the ground
loved
was
seeing
nice.
him. As a fantasy owner, every time he ran the ball, it made me nervous because I was afraid that he was either going to A, fumble, or B, get hurt. But he looked great in the running game. Josh Allen, obviously, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't seen it in a hot second, but I'm pretty sure Vegas might have him favored to win MVP.
They should.
And I know that we didn't talk about this a lot in the first episode, which we probably should have. As of right now, the Bills might be my pick for the Super Bowl.
Me too. Like, there's no team.
All right, so we got that out of the way.
Yeah, we got that out of the way. I mean, there's no team in the league that has the offensive firepower that they do. But the defense is what looks really scary, man. Because last
7
year,
sacks with
7 sacks.
Von Miller having 2 of those.
You know what's crazy? Stat that I saw. 7 sacks. They did not blitz one time. They did not blitz a single time in that game.
That's crazy.
7 sacks. And I'm pretty sure like QB hers is like 15 or 14, something like that.
Right.
0 blitzes. That's a scary defense.
You know what? Josh Allen was 3. You're right. I'm sorry. 3 touchdowns and then 1 rushing.
Look at me. I'm smart.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. We're going to try to do these last week's pretty quick so we can give you pretty in-depth for next week. Next, Saints versus Falcons. I took the Falcons. I was wrong.
I took the Saints. I was right. This was a very close game, 27-26.
We love what we saw to Cordero Patterson for a fantasy standpoint. If y'all took him in a later round, such as myself, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, I mean, 22 carries for 120 yards, averaging 5.5 with a touchdown.
Most carries in his career, I'm pretty sure. Out of any game ever, that is his most carries. Or at least most touches. Maybe not most carries, but whatever. Next up.
Mariota didn't get sacked once all game. Mariota actually really didn't have that bad of a game. 20 for 33, 215 yards. No touchdowns, but no interceptions and no sacks.
I'm just going to throw this one out there also. If you are in desperate need of a quarterback, maybe in a super flex league, maybe in a league where you wait to take quarterback, Mariota is not a bad streaming option, like at all. Like I promise you, you won't regret it picking him up. I mean, he's got a rough matchup this week versus the Rams, but for the future, stash him on your bench. They have a very run-heavy scheme, and there was a lot of QB-designed runs in that game. Next, Browns versus Panthers. I took the Panthers. Guess what, man? I was wrong. What's new?
Guess what, Danny? I was wrong as well. I also took the Carolina Panthers.
We both took the Baker Mayfield revenge game. We learned to always bet against Baker. That's what we learned. Baker Mayfield.
I mean, I really would have loved to have seen more from DJ Moore. You know, 3 receptions for 43 yards. Robbie Anderson had himself a day. Unfortunately, he was on my bench. 5 receptions for 102 yards, averaging 20.4 yards with 1 touchdown. His longest being a 75-yarder. 5 receptions on 8 targets.
That's. I mean, Baker Mayfield's arm, 8 targets, 5 receptions. You're going after that ball. But I don't know. It's rough, man. My opinion, Robbie Anderson's not a great free agency pickup. If you have a fab budget, don't put a lot into him. He's not going to be great. Always bet against Baker Mayfield. And what I was going to say is that we got to stop putting DJ Moore into the Terry McLaurin category where he is quarterback proof. He is quite obviously not. Every year it's the quarterback's fault, and DJ Moore will get better with a new one, and he doesn't. Until he gets a good quarterback, you got to stop drafting him high in your leagues. He's not quarterback proof. Next up, Bears 49ers. Pretty sure we both took the 49ers in this one.
Indeed, we did.
I'm pretty firm in my belief that if the rain wasn't crazy, we would have been correct. But
I was just about to say that, Danny. I feel like if the weather, was better if it didn't play as much of an impact in this game as it did. I genuinely think that we're walking out of here each with one more win in our win column. I
Yeah.
genuinely think San Francisco would have taken the game if the weather if the weather was better.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. But Chicago Bears jump out to an early 1-0 lead. They take that game 19-10.
Yeah.
Nothing really from either side jumps out at me, quite honestly.
I think Trey Lance had like 30 something passing yards. I think that's what jumps out at me the most is that he just did not efficiently pass the ball.
Trey Lance went 13 for 28 for 164 yards.
I was wrong.
You were way wrong.
Did he have 30 something rushing yards?
He had 13 carries for 54 rushing yards.
I don't know what I'm thinking about, man. Sorry. Wrong. Stupid me. Nah, it's just both quarterbacks didn't look good in the air, but they look good on the ground. But it's the rain. They're not gonna look good in the air. It's Trey Lance's like third career start. He's not gonna look amazing. It's Justin Fields. Second year. It's not gonna look amazing. Don't overreact. That's all I'm gonna say. Next up, Steelers vs Bengals. I finally take my first win, and this is the one that I'm gonna stop and talk about.
Go for it, Danny. I'll let you kind of carry this one. Won't lie, I was working all day on Sunday, so unfortunately, I did not really get to watch a lot of the games. So Danny, I'm going to let you, especially because it's your team too. I'll let you have your moment.
So I follow this game very closely, obviously. I was on my way home from the Poconos. It's about an hour. No, it's about a 2.5 hour drive, whatever. On my way home, following the game very attentively in the car. I'm like, oh, okay, Bengals start with ball. About a minute later, I checked. Yo, we scored? Minkah Fitzpatrick pick six. Like it's a beautiful way to start.
You know why?
Because he's the best safety in the league. That's why.
Because he's built by Bama.
Shut up. 1 second. Sorry.
No, you can't have 1 second. Shout out to all the gumps out there. Minkah Fitzpatrick built by Bama. You think Miami's regretting that trade?
Yeah, because who did they even get? I know they got a first. Who did they draft?
I could not tell you.
Exactly. Our defense looked astounding. Obviously, we forced 4 turnovers in the first half. We got a lot of pressures. Then it went to overtime. And Mitch did not look good. Like, let's be honest, before overtime, Mitch did not look good. I'm pretty sure he went to overtime with like 130 passing yards.
Mitch finished 21 for 38 with 194 yards.
Yes, that last drive made 2 amazing plays to his tight end to get into the middle of the field to win the game. Let's be honest, though, Steelers lose if the Bengals have their long snapper. Yeah, last play regulation, Ja'Marr Chase, for some reason, some godforsaken reason, Ahkello Witherspoon gives him the inside. What? Ja'Marr Chase runs an out route on the right side of the field, catches short end zone. Why is Witherspoon's our best corner? I understand we have him on Ja'Marr Chase. They stack the other side of the field. Like, even the people calling the game, I completely forget who it was. I was watching a stream of it. The people calling the game at the moment said they're going to stack the left side of the field. They're going to stack one side of the field and put Ja'Marr Chase on the other so they have him on an island. That's exactly what happened. It was so predictable. I called it. My dad called it. And they didn't have help over there. Doesn't make sense. You knew they were going short. You knew they were going to Ja'Marr. And he still was open for a touchdown. Great catch, great throw, whatever. Don't care. I don't care. But the big piece, it's now 20-20, and the Bengals don't have their long snapper. Their backup tight end is snapping the ball, and it gets blocked by Minkah. Minkah, another great play. Goes to OT. The Bengals miss a game-winning field goal. The Steelers miss a game-winning field goal. The Steelers make a game-winning field goal. It's a game of missed field goals, man. A doink from like 60 from Boswell that had way enough leg. Like that kick probably would have hit from 65. But whatever, neither here nor there. Steelers come out with a win. Looked promising. Our offense didn't look promising. Come out with a TJ injury. We come out with a Najee injury. We come out with a Cam Hayward injury. Oh, rough. But we win.
Now, I didn't look too much into it because actually I saw the notification while I was driving. First off, Najee, I believe, now correct me if I'm wrong, his injury might not be that serious. Do you think he
Yes,
plays week 2?
I do. I think he plays limited snaps week 2. Apparently he wasn't walking around in a boot. Apparently it's not an ankle sprain, it's just an ankle injury. He is questionable though. So like that's the whole thing.
Now,
Um,
TJ Watt, this notification I saw while I was driving, and I just kind of completely forgot to go back and to look at look at it. Originally there was correct me if I'm wrong, Danny. I believe hearing that it was a torn pec, and
partially torn pec, does not require surgery. He should be back in 6 weeks.
Okay, because one of the what I heard at at the very beginning when they announced the injury, they said that it could require surgery, and not only that, but that could have been season ending.
Yeah, so at the time it was terrifying because TJ goes down with a pec injury. He goes down with a pec injury, doesn't come back, not even in overtime. And then people think that it's torn pec, and torn pec, fire surgery done for the year. That absolutely kills our team. That's terrifying, but it's not a torn pec, partially torn. Should be back in 6 weeks, maybe sooner because TJ Watt's an Iron Man.
So what you're saying is he almost pulled an Eloy Jimenez of the White Sox, and he almost tore his titty.
A titty toller. That'd be horrible.
Oh my god! Like last season, for people listening, I think it was last season or 2 seasons ago. Eloy Jimenez tore his pectoral in spring training. I think he was trying to like rob a home run, and they acted like he died. Like they had his jersey out there with like a pair of his batting gloves. Like I get you guys are close at a team, but like that's something that a team does when like they lose a player. They have their jersey, like they have something out there to like to memorialize. He's not dead. He's just tore his titty. Like
tore the titty.
Tore the titty.
Sorry, I wasn't attentive. Jen, my girlfriend's texting me. And my mom just got me my dinner. Sick. All right, let's move on. I said all I need to say. It's a lot, but the Steelers win, and I'm happy.
So, Danny, that takes us next to the Eagles at the Detroit Lions. This was a very close game. This is the first game that I had on the day while I was at work, trying to pay as much attention to it as I could. Unfortunately, I couldn't really pay much attention to it, but 38-35, very, very, very close game, especially for the Lions. The Eagles right now, Danny, do you think the Eagles are favored to win the NFC East?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
either way,
odds wise, probably. Personally, no.
Either way, for the Detroit Lions to stay in this game within 3 points of against the Eagles, pretty good.
I took the Lions. That's a L on my part. It was kind of obvious to take the Eagles, but I was really hyped up for the Lions after I watched Hard Knocks, and I was a little busy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's the reason why he took them. Trying to think if there's anything really noticeable. Jalen Hurts, he had a pretty good game, 18 for 32 for 243 yards in the air, 17 carries for 90 yards on the ground. AJ Brown had 10 receptions for 155 yards, his longest on 13 targets, including a 54-yard reception. Now, this was, again, this is kind of a situation where I couldn't really pay attention, but I see the stat. Devontae Smith, no receptions, no yards, 4 targets. Now, if my sister, shout out Claire, is correct, all 4 of Smith's receptions were called back due to offensive penalties.
Yep.
That is mind-blowing. I'm sorry. I've never heard of that. Like, I've never, yeah. I mean, Devontae, I just think that's absolutely ridiculous, and that's so crazy.
It's scary. That's what that is. Especially it's scary for fantasy owners. For the Eagles, it's a great thing because now Devontae Smith is your receiver 2. But there's a new clear wide receiver 1 in town. Very clear. AJ Brown is him. I also never mind. My mind's moving 1,000 things. AJ Brown is a very good receiver. And I took the Lions with the prospect of their offense being that, and their offense wasn't bad. Jared Goff played better than expected. DeAndre Swift played way better than expected. I was very happy. Amon-Ra is a wide receiver 1. He is him. But the Eagles just just couldn't be stopped on offense. I'm pretty sure they had 4 different players have a rushing touchdown in this game.
That is correct.
Jalen,
Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, Kenneth Gainwell, and Boston Scott, all with rushing touchdowns.
fade all of those running backs in fantasy. Every single one of them, trade them. Maybe not Boston Scott, but Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell, move them.
I don't remember if this was on a pick six or on a scoop and score, but James Bradbury, former Giant, also had a touchdown for the Eagles.
It was a pick six. I watched it.
Okay.
Bradbury, very good player. Can't believe he's not a 90 overall in Madden, but Madden's also trash. So let's move on.
Why don't you call that hotline?
Yeah, let me give them their engagement that they want. Next we had Colts Texans.
This was
God.
Danny, I'm sure you've seen this stat, and to all the listeners, I'm sure everybody else has heard this stat. All 4 teams in the AFC South, not a single one of them have a win, despite 2 of them playing each other.
It's insane. That's
crazy. Actually incredible.
There's literally nothing to talk about from this game besides the fact that Michael Pittman looked insane, Matt Ryan didn't look good, and the Colts played for the tie. Why would you play for a tie? At least lose. Like, ties are the worst thing in sports, and I hate them. Moving on. Pats versus Dolphins.
Rodrigo Blankenship was cut literally the next day because he missed. I don't know how much he missed from, but I know he went 2 for 3.
Missed a game-winning field goal, I believe, or game-winning field goal opportunity.
You're probably right.
I'm pretty sure. Next up was Pats Dolphins. Dolphins took the W. I don't think either one of us really thought they wouldn't. The Pats defense did look good, but the Pats offense looked just as horrible as everybody thought it would. Mac Jones, I believe, is suffering a back injury right now.
I was just about to say, very unfortunate for Mac Jones, as I believe you're correct. So Tua Tagovailoa gets the dub in the Bama Bowl between him and Mac Jones.
The Bama Bowl.
Next
up was, do you have anything else to say? Sounded like you did. I'm sorry.
No, just that Mac Jones, because I know that he's my backup quarterback in fantasy. I know that he, they believe he still might play in week 2.
I doubt it. He might, but I doubt they throw him against the Steelers front 7, and the Steelers typically heavy blitz against the Patriots. Might be different now. Also, saw a stat. I'm going to bring it up now so I don't forget it. The Steelers Patriots game for week 2, which we will talk about in a couple minutes, is the first time since 1998 that neither Tom Brady nor Ben Roethlisberger played in a Steelers versus Patriots matchup. And Studer, fun fact, can you tell me the quarterbacks that did play in that game?
I'm very sorry, Danny. If you could really quickly just repeat that one more time.
Do you want to tell me the last time that the Steelers and Patriots played and neither Ben nor Tom Brady played in the game was 1998.
98. Okay. Now, I'm not a big history nerd in terms of football. But between the Patriots and the Steelers, for the Patriots, I guess I'll guess the man before Brady, Drew Bledsoe.
That is correct.
And for the Steelers, I quite honestly could not tell you who the quarterback was before Ben Roethlisberger. He's all I've known.
Cordell Stewart.
Would not have guessed that in a million years, Danny.
Cordell Stewart. Just a little fun fact. Next game, Ravens Jets. Ravens win. It wasn't close. Nobody
really thought. I don't think anybody thought Joe Flacco was going to be the old Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco was
not a lot to talk about here.
Joe Flacco is not on elite quarterback watch.
Final score 24-9. Joe Flacco though did have 309 yards.
No, Joe Flacco played good. He just didn't play good enough to get the win. Next was Jags versus Commanders. Somebody who was an elite quarterback in this game was Carson Wentz.
And somebody who was an elite wide receiver in this game was Jahan Dotson. Penn State. Baby. I mean, 3 receptions on 5 targets for 40 yards, averaging 13.3 with 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Only 5 targets is a little scary, but Curtis Samuel had 11, so I don't think you could really put much on this game. Curtis Samuel's not going to out-target Terry McLaurin. Curtis Samuel's not going to out-target Jahan Dotson. Not for the season. I can guarantee you guys that.
Correct. Samuel had the most with 11, followed by Antonio Gibson with 8. then Logan Thomas, then Jahan Dotson, and then Scary Terry.
which is stupid. But Wentz did play very good. Next, fade this
Danny,
one to
really quickly, did you see the video of Trevor Lawrence talking to the team like right before they head out of the tunnel?
Oh, I've never been so demotivated in my life.
Dude, it was all right, guys. Like, let's go out there week one, like show them what we're made of. Like,
We're not the same team
he's
as
not
last
even
year.
confident in the Jaguars. And he said, you got me Christian Kirk and ETN, and even that wasn't good enough. Also, Christian Kirk had himself a game. 50% reception rate, but 117 yards, averaging 19.5 yards for on 6 receptions.
Let's go, guys. I'm very hyped up for the game, and we're gonna hype you guys up. All right, Duval. That's how that went. Next game, gonna fade this one to you, Studer. Giants versus Titans. I got this one wrong.
Oh, I got this wrong too, and I have never been happier to get a game wrong. Oh man. All right, let's talk really quickly. Let's not ignore the biggest factor in this game for the New York Giants, Saquon Barkley. Oh my goodness, 18 carries, 164 yards, averaging 9.1, one rushing touchdown. He had that long 68 yard rush, which set them up for his rushing touchdown. Barkley also had 6 receptions on 7 targets, which is good for 30 yards. I mean, this was 2018, 2019 Saquon, and this is exactly what we said, in week one, in the week one predictions. He's looking like his old self, which is really, really good.
You want to hear what I'm most excited about?
What are you most excited about?
The fact that he led the team in targets. Saquon led the team in targets.
Yes, he did.
And had 9.1 yards a carry. That is amazing production.
Well, 9.1 yards per carry on the ground, 5
on the ground. That's what I meant.
Yep. The only other true wide receiver who had more, close to the amount that he had was Richie James, who had 6 targets.
Can I air some grievances with the Giants real quick?
Go for it.
Giants, give you your props. You had a lot of positives. You beat the Titans, the reigning AFC. I mean, they were the number one.
The number one seed. Yep.
I was gonna call them AFC champs, but they were not that. Reigning AFC 1 seed. You beat them. Good job. You held Derrick Henry to not Derrick Henry. So
82 cool. yards, 21 carries, 82 yards.
Derrick Henry was only a prince. He was not king.
And you know who dethroned him?
Saquon.
Nope. Tay Crowder.
Tay Crowder.
My God. What a big hit from Tay Crowder.
Tay Crowder lit him up. My grievance, though. Kadarius Toney, 2 touches. 2 touches?
That is one thing that the Giants community kind of isn't that happy with. Is
2 touches?
He doesn't get a lot of touches, but if you get him those touches, he's really good.
He's productive. He is your second best offensive player. Use him.
First off, none of those were true passes as well. He didn't have any any receiving
rushes.
Yards. They were both rushes. 2 carries for 23 yards. I don't know how many total snaps he played.
Not a lot.
But I can tell you that. Actually, maybe I can't tell you. I don't remember if Daniel Bellinger played more snaps or not.
It's just not good. Let's power through these next couple because there's not.
Well, hold on, because I want to talk just a little bit more about it. I let you have your moment with the Steelers.
My bad. Yeah. You sounded like you were done. That's my bad.
Very scary at the end there. Darnay Holmes giving up that really big reception. I want to say it was to Kyle Phillips. Again, I apologize. Didn't really watch this game. I believe I was counting money while this drive happened. So, but Tannehill gets that pass deep, that Darnay Holmes isn't able to break up. That's what sets them into field goal range. But taking a step back, Brian Dable, first off, Chris Myrick fourth career reception, if I recall correctly, fourth career reception, second career touchdown.
Nice.
Love the fact that Brian Daboll went for 2 there. Spoke with my father, spoke with my sister. They didn't like the fact that Brian Daboll went for 2 at first. Now, my thought process on that is go for the win. You know, the Giants defense in the second half, they allowed 7 points and that was it. They allowed 13 in the first half and then only 7. First off, only 7 in the third quarter. They held them to nothing in the fourth. So yeah, go for 2, go for that win, force them to try to make a good play with 1 minute and 6 seconds left on the clock. But you know what? Unfortunately, they did. But at the same time, Daboll also forces them to try to make a field goal in wet, rainy conditions. And guess what? That's probably the reason why Randy Bullock missed that kick. I'm so unbelievably excited and happy that the Giants won this game. First time since 2016 that they started off 1-0 and that they've had a record over 500.
The record's 1,000 right now. Very happy. Giants aren't playing for much, so I'm happy that they're at least showing a little bit of promise. Like they're really just playing to at least try to make a wild card, which I don't think is going to happen realistically. But I feel like that's the ceiling for this team. And the fact that they went for 2 instead of going for overtime, it's promising. It just
Also,
shows that they have something.
Also a little upset with Daniel Jones. I get that he had 2 touchdowns, but no, there's like, how does that happen? How do you, I don't know who it is from Tennessee that did it, but how do you, like, they muffed I don't know if it was a muffed punt or a muffed kick. I want to say it was a muffed punt. They muffed the punt. Giants get the ball back to the 11-yard line, and then Jones throws an interception in the end zone. How do you do that? And then also, it didn't help that he was sacked, and then he, Danny fumble came out too.
All right.
That's all I really have to say. Very excited, and I can't wait to watch them in week 2.
Let's speed through these next couple because there's not much news. Chiefs, Cardinals. Chiefs win. Chiefs look like the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes.
Cardinals were like one of the most uncompetitive teams this week, or non-competitive.
Patrick Mahomes just doesn't need Tyreek Hill, and I think that's been proven. Next was Raiders, Chargers. Chargers take the win. I think we both predicted Chargers. It was a good game, AFC West matchup, and it was nice. I mean, this is what you expect from this division all year. Next was Packers versus Vikings. I took the Packers. Unfortunately, was wrong. That's kind of just how this week went.
Seems as though I was smart enough to take the Vikings. I actually won a week of fantasy in one of my leagues, despite Aaron Rodgers only putting up 3.7 points.
I got yelled at for starting Russell Wilson over Aaron Rodgers, and it worked out. It's just a rough. It's a rough start. I don't know how much we can expect from this Packers team this year. Next was Bucks versus Cowboys.
Sunday Night Football. Danny, let me sum this game up in one word: boring.
Boring. Bucks win.
That goes down for what, 6 to 8 weeks?
6 to 8 weeks. No, they didn't put him on IR, and Jerry Jones said that they're not putting him on IR. So technically, he can be back sooner than 4. But I think
he'll need surgery.
I think 4 is like the minimum. Like, I don't understand why they're not putting him on IR. That's the biggest thing that comes out of this game. Like, the Cowboys didn't look good. The Bucks didn't look good. Tom Brady looked like Tom Brady. That's really all.
Unfortunately, Chris Godwin got hurt on one of his first true tackles that he hit, because obviously he wasn't really tackled much in training camp and preseason. Then he gets tackled and it limps off the field. Very upsetting to see.
Issue.
Yeah.
He'll come back. And finally, Monday Night Football, Broncos country did not ride. They lost to the Seahawks. You pay a quarterback $2,500. What?
Isn't it 215 million with 185 guaranteed?
$250 million. You get the $250 million quarterback, and you don't let him go for it on a 4th and 5. Instead, you settle for a 64-yard field goal, which would be
he's so stupid.
Tied the NFL record. That's what that would have done. Or
I'm sorry,
one short of the NFL record. And he hasn't made a 62+ yard field goal. He's 1 for 8 in his career from 60+. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
I can't remember the name of the Broncos head coach right now. I apologize for being a casual in that sense, but
so am I.
how do you not go for it on 4th and 5 there? Like that's the game right there, especially when you're that far back.
It just doesn't make any
Say,
sense.
I'm pretty sure it was 64 yards that was attempted, Danny.
It was 64 yards. It was a dumb decision.
So
So
very, very dumb decision.
that ends my week at 6-9-1. Studer
Caps
ended.
me off at 10-5-1.
All right. So let's get into week 2.
Also, really quickly, kind of pathetic the fact that the coach then the next day, yesterday, Tuesday,
Yeah,
so it was
no.
like, yeah, looking back at it, maybe I should have gone for it.
At least stick with
What?
what you did. At least stick with what you did. That's how you lose your job.
That's how
Dumb.
you lose all credibility.
Exactly. That's why your players won't listen to you. All right. Studer, you wanna take us off with week 2 pick'ems?
Let's do it. Kicking us off tomorrow night, September 15th. It's Thursday night football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard on Prime Video. We've got Justin Herbert and I almost said San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers taking on Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. This is going to be a very good game. I've got a good feeling.
Another AFC West matchup. You know what to expect. A shootout. But the Chargers do have one of the best defenses in the league, in my opinion.
And Danny, it's funny that you mentioned that. I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Chiefs here.
Ooh, we got some disparity, right?
Chiefs,
start.
Chiefs put up a lot of points, put up 44 over Arizona. Chargers only putting up 24 against Las Vegas. Anything can happen, though. This is more of kind of a gut feeling. I don't know what it is. I think Herbert's going to get the edge here. Something just tells me he's going to get the edge. Give me Los Angeles.
I can see it. The Chargers very much so upgraded their defense this offseason, bringing in Khalil Mack. But you're missing out a key factor. Chargers are missing Keenan Allen for this week. Their wide receiver 1 is out.
I didn't even
Give me the
know
Chiefs.
that.
Give me the Chiefs, baby. Mike Williams is going to have a touchdown, though. He is if you're starting a player from this game and it's not Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce, he's my sleeper. My sleeper is Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer is going to have a lot of targets.
I have ESPN up on my iPad right now, and I'm even now just looking at the Chiefs don't have their kicker, and the Chargers don't have their wide receiver in Keenan Allen. Is it too late to change?
Justin Reed at kicker. No, it's not too late to change. I'm pretty sure I switched from Vikings to Packers last week.
I didn't realize that Keenan Allen was out. So quite honestly, I'm Danny. I'm sure we'll find some diversity in some of these other games. I might have to go Kansas City.
Go for it, man. Is you switching to Chiefs?
I'm switching to the Chiefs.
It's official. We got to switch up. Next game.
Starting us off at the 1 o'clock on Sunday. We've got an AFC East matchup. No, we don't. I apologize. We got AFC East versus AFC. Let's not talk about it. But we've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Dolphins looked okay, pretty good, pretty solid against the Patriots in week 1. I think the Ravens are the better team here, though. Give me the Baltimore Ravens.
Disparity once again. We reign. Give me the Dolphins, baby. Dolphins look good in week 1. Tua specifically looked good in week 1.
I'm also very stupid, and I just realized now that I said diversity instead of disparity.
Diversity, disparity, whatever. What's the difference? Who cares?
Probably should have gone with disparity, though.
Who cares?
I'm tired.
Me too. But the Ravens looked good. But who knows what their running game is going to look like? The Dolphins upgraded massively this offseason. They played very good week 1. And just the addition of Tyreek Hill, man. All the receivers, all the top tier receivers on new teams played like top tier receivers on new teams, and they played good. Give me the Dolphins, baby.
All right, well, moving on to the reason why I accidentally said AFC East at the beginning was because of the team right under the Miami Dolphins is the New York Jets, as they head to Cleveland to take on the 1-0 Cleveland Browns.
1-0 Cleveland Browns. That's a weird sentence.
I mean, look, a lot of that game came on from the running game. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. I think they do it again. Give me Cleveland.
Upset alert. Give me the Jets.
Wow. Somebody set off some air horns or something. You are going with Joe Flacco starting in week 2. You're going to go the New York Jets.
If there's one thing Joe Flacco can do, it's beat the AFC North. He did it his whole career. The Ravens, I'm pretty sure his win percentage against the AFC North has to be insanely high because when he was on the Ravens, they were consistently top seed in the AFC.
Danny, I'm pretty sure you said the same thing last week, and they still lost to the Ravens.
I still picked the Ravens though. So, and Joe Flacco, I picked the Ravens, and I said Joe Flacco was going to play good. Ravens won. Joe Flacco played good. I'm 2-0 when it comes to Joe Flacco against the AFC North. I don't think Joe Flacco has as good of a game because he's playing a way better pass rush than the Browns. But I do think that the Jets can get it going on the ground against them because Myles Garrett is little to nothing in the run game. Give me the Jets, man. Michael Carter is going to have a touchdown. Breece Hall is going to have a touchdown. Two different rushers getting a touchdown this game.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, next we have the Detroit Lions hosting another NFC East team. This time it's the Washington Commanders. This is a tough one for me. Quite honestly, part of me wants to pick the Lions. I mean, they dropped 35 against the Eagles. I think I'm trying to think of how good Washington's defense is.
It's on paper not the best.
I might have to think that I might have to go Detroit here.
You going Detroit? You want to lock it in? Come on, do it. Just for the upset alert.
No, but Wentz looked pretty good, and so did Dotson. And so, of course, did Samuel and McLaurin.
I'm going to give mine. I'm going to take Washington for the pure fact that the Lions' pass defense did not look good and the Commanders' pass offense looked amazing. I'm gonna take the Commanders, man. I think Wentz is gonna pick them apart. Wentz playing in Philly for the first few years of his career, he knows how Detroit plays. That doesn't make any sense.
It does not. Nope.
Nah, I was thinking of the Eagles for some reason. Whatever. Because the Eagles just played them. That's what's going on. But Wentz is a good quarterback. Not a great quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. I'm taking the Commanders.
I might have to go Washington. Solely for the fact that they kind of have a bigger, a little bit of a better wide receiver option than the Lions do.
Locking it in?
Yeah, lock it in. Give me Washington.
Lock it in. Give them Washington.
Next, we've got the 0-1 Indianapolis Colts heading to Duval to face the 0-1 Jacksonville Jaguars.
Duval.
I'm gonna do my best Lee Corso impression here with a stat that I heard.
Okay.
The Indianapolis Colts haven't beaten the Jacksonville Jaguars since 2014. Upset alert. Give me Indianapolis.
I don't think it's an upset. I'm also taking Indianapolis.
Well, I don't mean upset in the Jaguars are favored.
In 8 years. That's
yeah, I think the Colts are finally going to beat the Jaguars. I'm pretty sure it was 2014.
I just think that the Jaguars are so outmatched, like fully on offense. If the Colts don't score on half of their possessions, it's going to be a travesty. It's just insane. Yeah, not much to talk about. Colts win.
Next, we have the this is always, I feel like this is always a fun game to watch. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints. Winston playing his former team in which he led the league in passing touchdowns, I believe.
And interceptions, 30 for 30.
Yep. Call him ESPN.
Yes, sir. I think
this could be interesting. Obviously, I don't know why when these two teams, I see them playing each other, the only thing that I can think of is like that 9-3 game that they played last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady slamming down the Microsoft Office tablet.
The Microsoft Office tablet. I like that's how you talked about it.
Danny, Leonard Fournette had a really good game. Mm-hmm. Mike Evans made a really good one-handed catch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go Tampa Bay.
I just switched mine because I thought about something. Jameis Winston revenge game against the Bucs, man.
Oh, wow.
Jameis Winston and Michael Thomas are going to ball out this game. I think even Jarvis Landry is going to have a good game. Everybody on their offense, but Alvin Kamara is going to play good, just like real life. Oh, weird. Just like last week, Alvin Kamara owners are scared, but I'm going to go with the Saints, man. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I had the Saints originally, and then I switched to the Bucks because I thought about how good Tom Brady played, regardless of his horrible old line. And then I just thought about it, and I'm gonna switch. Gut feeling, Saints win.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Well, next we've got the Carolina Panthers heading to East Rutherford for the Giants home opener.
Oh yeah.
I got to go the Giants here, not only as a fan, but quite honestly, I think that might be a smart pick. I mean, McCaffrey didn't have the greatest game last week, 10 carries for 33 yards. If Tay Crowder and the New York Giants were able to hold Derrick Henry to like 82 yards, if they can do that again and hold McCaffrey, then you kind of take that leg of the game away from them. And if the defense can kind of replicate how they played in the second half of last week, I mean, already look, I mean, Carolina didn't have the best game as it was against Cleveland in terms of receiving yards. I mean, yeah, Robbie Anderson had over 100, but other than that, 53 for Thomas, 43 for Moore, and then 24 for McCaffrey. And if Saquon can play as great as he did, and if Kadarius Toney can play some more snaps, I genuinely don't see why the Giants can't win this game. Lock it in with 80 million locks. Give me your big blue, the New York Giants.
I'm also going to take the Giants. And here's why.
Tell me why, Danny.
The Giants passed on Baker Mayfield to take Saquon Barkley. That's not true.
No, they didn't. Nope, because the Giants had the second overall pick.
Giants had the second overall pick. Saquon Barkley revenge game against Baker Mayfield. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I just don't think Baker's gonna ball. I think the Giants defense is just gonna stuff them up. I just don't think Baker's good. I think we proved that week 1. Bet against Baker. Give me the Giants.
I'd love to hear that, Danny. Love to hear that. Well, next game.
I never thought I'd say it. I never thought I'd say it.
How ironic that the next game that we're going to be talking about is your team now. It's the New England Patriots taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
We know where I'm going.
Danny, I'll let you talk, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to say now, give me the Steelers, especially if you don't have a 100% healthy Mac Jones playing.
They're not going to start Mac Jones.
Give me Pittsburgh.
Give me Pittsburgh because the Patriots offense couldn't even get past the Dolphins defense. And if you can't get past the Dolphins defense, what makes you expect you're going to get past the best defense in the league? I'm going to continue to say it. Even with TJ Watt off the field, our pass rush is crazy because we have Cam Hayward, all pro player. Tyson Alualu, solid, decent, whatever. Alex Highsmith, this is his year, bro. This is Alex Highsmith's year. You got Miles Jack. You got Devin Bush. Devin Bush played great. Got a crazy secondary. If the Steelers offense can score one touchdown, we win the game. Give me the Steelers.
All right.
Najee Harris plays and scores a touchdown. That's my bold prediction.
I could see that.
Big Najee game coming in.
Moving on to the 4:00 slate, we've got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Los Angeles Rams. It was a close game between Atlanta and New Orleans. Not necessarily close, really, between the Rams and the Bills. But I think that the Rams are going to kind of get it together for next week. I can see the Rams beating the Falcons. Obviously, Mariota could ball off. Patterson could, have himself a day. I think it's more kind of just a gut. At the end of the day, the Rams are the Rams. I'm going to take the Rams over the Falcons.
I'm also going to take the Rams over the Falcons. I think their week 1 loss kind of lit a fire underneath them and that they're going to come out and they're going to embarrass the Falcons. I think bold predictions. Kyle Pitts scores his second NFL touchdown and Cooper Kupp scores 2 touchdowns. And Allen Robinson gets more than 2 targets. Those are all bold predictions.
I don't even want to talk about that.
Neither do I. Let's continue. Let's move on. We only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We have 7 or 8 games left to talk about. Let's.
We've got 7 games left. And this one that we're going to talk about is the Seahawks taking on the 49ers. Like we both said, this is a team that should have won last week. And especially now that they're going to be in their home field. Give me the San Francisco 49ers.
Me too. The Seahawks should not have won last week. They really shouldn't. The Niners should have won last week. It's just easy. Niners have one of the best defenses in the league. The Seahawks have little to zero offense. If the Seahawks if the Seahawks convert more than 30% first downs, so like if they get first downs on 30% of their plays, I don't know what I'm trying to say. If they get a lot of yardage offense, the Niners should be embarrassed.
A lot of yardage offense. Okay.
I'm tired. 250 yards for the Seattle Seahawks offense is a win in itself.
We're both going with the Niners.
Yeah, nah.
Moving on. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Dallas Cowgirls. The Dallas Cowboys.
No, you said it right the first time.
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. I think Cincinnati, just like what you said with the Rams, Danny, I think the Bengals, that loss kind of lit a fire under them. And of course, with Dallas not having Dak, give me Cincinnati.
I'm also going to take the Bengals. I think we talked about it last week. Without Teron Armstead, the Cowboys go from statistically the best running offense in the league to statistically the worst running offense in the league. And they also go from a top 6 pass offense in the league to a bottom 5 pass offense in the league. This is all statistical fact. You don't have Tyron Smith. They're starting left tackle. Did I say Armstead the first time?
I could not tell you. I was kind of looking at some stats, looking ahead at the next game.
Smith. That's what I'm talking about. He's done for the year. They're not going to be able to run the ball, and they don't have Dak, so they're easily not going to be able to pass the ball. Give me the Bengals, man. Jamar Chase, 3 touchdowns incoming. Torch Trevon Diggs. Torch him.
Moving on, we have the Houston Texans heading to Broncos country. Well, they will ride into a loss. Give me Denver. I don't know.
I thought you were saying the Broncos were going to lose. I was
maybe I should have worded that a little better. No. Well, the Texans will ride into Broncos country and lose. I don't know. I think that, this could have just been might have just summed it up as just a bad game for the Broncos. I mean, every now and then a team is going to have one of those. But I think that the Broncos at the end of the day really aren't, they're not the horrible team. I mean, first off, what they've got to do, and I forget who was, I think it was Shannon Sharp on the Manning cast. Stop switching like Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon drive for drive.
It doesn't make sense.
It should be Williams who gets the majority of the snaps.
I think we all know this. It really should be. And I think that the Broncos have too many decent receivers on their team. And that's not a knock on Courtland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy. I'm not including them. They are good receivers. But everybody after them, they have too many solid receivers to play both Javonte and Melvin Gordon at the same time. I think Javonte is good enough where they can move him into a short slot role, maybe. And play Melvin Gordon in the backfield. If they want to play both of them at the same time, maybe line them both up on the same on different sides of Russ. Play them both at the same time. Who knows? But they should not be switching off. They should not. Javonte Williams is miles better than Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, it's that wide receiver room that you kind of started to mention that I think is really going to be the reason why Denver takes us. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, Courtland Sutton, even Javonte Williams had 65 yards in the air last game.
12 targets, baby.
KJ Hamler, I know that he didn't have a single reception on one target, but he went to Penn State, so I'm gonna bring him up.
As you should.
So yeah, give me Denver.
Yeah. Next game, Cardinals Raiders. Both teams looked good in a loss. That's what I'm gonna say.
2 playoff teams last year that looked good in a loss.
Yeah, no, they looked good in a loss. The Cardinals did not look as good as the Raiders, and that's why I'm going to take the Raiders personally. I think just Davante Adams is too much of a menace for the Cardinals defense. I think Kyler Murray was Kyler Murray last game where he's going to make plays and he's going to make bad ones. Just give me the Raiders, man. They're just too good.
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals actually, if you were to take a look at their losing scores last week, the Cardinals would have won 21-19. I don't see something like that happening this week. If
Mm-mm.
the Cardinals had DeAndre Hopkins, maybe it's a little bit of a closer game. I'm gonna go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, there's not really much to say about it. They both teams lost. It's really just a gut feeling.
Now, Danny, Sunday Night Football on NBC. It's a rivalry as old as time. It's the Chicago Bears heading to the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field as they take on the Green Bay Packers.
This is a tough one for me just because of Aaron Rodgers' credibility versus the Bears. I do think the Bears are a better team. And I think that's saying a ton for how much Devontae Adams meant for the Packers. And that showed week one. Aaron Rodgers had a horrible game. I'm still going to go to Packers because as a very credible source will tell you, the Bears have had a new owner for the past however many years, and his name is Aaron Rodgers, and he's still on the field. The credible source is Aaron Rodgers himself. So,
yeah, I mean, this is it's kind of tough to look at Chicago's performance in week one and kind of say, you know, how so and so had such a great game, but I mean, they didn't. Khalil Herbert was the rushing leader with 45 yards. Dante Pettis had 51 receiving yards. That was the best for Chicago. I mean,
Darnell Mooney's going to have more than one fantasy point this week.
Right.
Justin Fields is going to play better this week. Like, these are just things you expect when you're not playing in an absolute monsoon.
I think I might also go Green Bay. I'm thinking maybe we see a little bit of a better game from Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon had a good game, man. I'm also
expecting
a better
it's
run
10 carries, 45 yards, but I definitely think he's capable of more than that.
He is 4.5 yards a carry is good, but also look at his receiving numbers.
Not to mention that he did have a touchdown too. Yeah, no, AJ Dillon, five. I keep saying 5 yards. Excuse me. 5 receptions for 46 yards.
Yeah, he had 90 scrimmage yards, 91 scrimmage yards, and a touchdown. 5 receptions. That's good. That's a good game for a guy deemed a backup running back who is not a backup running back.
Right.
Next game, don't think that there's much to say. The Bills, the best team in football, versus the Titans.
In Monday Night Football.
Josh Allen, back-to-back primetime games. Give me the Bills, man. Best team in football. They're my Super Bowl pick, and I picked them to beat the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Playing Thursday night to open the season, and then Monday night in week 2, you almost kind of hope that they don't have too much rest.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, I think the Buffalo Bills, I think they're going to be the best team in the league this year, and I think they're going to beat the Titans to make them start their season off 0-2, while Buffalo starts off 2-0. Give me the Bills locked in.
Bills Mafia.
Let's ride. Wait. No, I got a better one. Bills Mafia. Let's dive. Because they always dive into tables.
That's a good one.
Right?
We're making a shirt. Merch coming soon. Bills Mafia, let's dive.
And then it's just got to be a picture of one of those white Lifetime tables.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And me going through it.
Or us going through it.
Yeah, together.
And wrapping us up, we have the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in the Link. This has potential to be a really good game.
Oh, you're thinking.
Give me Minnesota.
Disparity once again.
Justin Jefferson absolutely popped off for the Vikings last week.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure. AJ Brown had himself a game too with Philadelphia. But I think that's kind of what it's going to come down to. I think that Jefferson's going to have a better game than Brown. Sure, the Eagles do also have Devontae Smith as an option.
Vikings I think I'm going to go Minnesota. This is going to be an amazing game, and it's going to be the best game to round off the week. It's going to be so good. I'm taking the Eagles for the simple fact that I don't think the Vikings defense can handle the rushing front that the Eagles can put up. And this is what I mean by that. The Eagles have the best offensive line in football. I've reiterated this for a long time. They have 4 rushers who had a touchdown last week, including their quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He is a threat at every level of the field. He can pass accurately, which we saw last week. He can run. He can do literally everything. You have Miles Sanders, who looks healthy. And when he's healthy, he's unstoppable. I'm not going to say unstoppable. When he's healthy, he is very, very good. And we saw that last week, man. He scored a touchdown. He didn't have a lot of yards, but he scored a touchdown, and that's good. You have Boston Scott, and you have Kenneth Gainwell. Both very good players, both decent receiving backs, both decent goal line backs. You can run them. They both had touchdowns last week. Yes, Justin Jefferson, absolute menace. He had like 160 and 2 last week. Like that's very good, very, very good numbers.
180 and 2.
180? Jeez.
184.
I just think that the Eagles defense is good enough to at least hold him, not stop him. Nobody's good enough to stop him. Justin Jefferson is on him watch, and that's going to be a thing that I'm going to start talking about a lot more because there's a lot of players on him watch right now, but Justin Jefferson's literally at the top of the list. He's on top number 1 receiver watch, and he can hit that this year. And if he can do what he did last week, unfortunately, Jair Alexander did not get to guard him a lot, but if Darius Slay gets to guard him a lot and he cooks Darius Slay, he's on him watch, man. Give me the Eagles. So I think the defense is good enough to stop him.
All right, well, there you have it. Our week 2 weekly pick'ems. Once again, I currently have the lead sitting at 10-5-1 to Danny's 6-10-1?
6-9-1. Unfortunately,
excuse me, 6-9-1.
You added a game. Yeah, that'll do it for the pick'ems. Like I said earlier, I don't know if it will be both of us or just me, but I'll be coming back at you for some fantasy stuff, some starts, some sits, some just here, there, everywhere kind of talk. Who to pick up, maybe. The waivers already passed today. I'm not going to do that. Starts, sits, good matchups, whatever. But you got anything you want to add before we end it out?
No, I mean, just to kind of reiterate to what you had said, Danny, in the beginning of the episode, I'd love to get some questions from the audience. And of course, I'd love to see what their thoughts were on week 1 and what surprised them the most, what they're looking forward to the most in week 2, any hot takes or predictions they might have. We would love to hear that.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely give us your questions. Like I said earlier, hit us up on socials. They're all linked down below, whether it is in our audio only or if it's in our video. Everything's linked. We have good news coming either next episode or the episode after that. Very excited.
Very good news. We're very excited to tell you guys.
Very excited. Just got to work out some minor details. But besides that point, thank you guys so much for watching. If you reached this far, give us a like. If you're on YouTube, rate us. If you are on audio platforms, subscribe if you like us. If you're this deep in, you must have enjoyed yourself somehow.
You've got to be going on a road trip at some point. I mean, you got to save us to,
just to keep you company.
Yeah.
I hope that drive's good.
I love car rides.
I hate car rides.
I hope that whoever is listening to this, if they're on a car ride, if they're on a road trip, having some good snacks, wearing some comfy clothes, you're enjoying some Dan and Danny talking sports.
I hope they stop at Sheetz and get themselves some good fries.
Ooh, some mozzarella sticks. Wawa's better, but
in general, yes, but I disagree. All right, we're getting off topic. Thank you for watching. Follow us on socials, and we'll be back soon.